Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. For regular viewers and listeners of AWI Pod, please do not be offended, as this program contains good wrestling.
It's my life in the box in front of me. Taking talk in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by, ask to see me laying face down. Your hands on the floor, and you're high.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Warring Tag. This is the 21st episode. I am your host, Brent Piles, and with me, as always, is the Barroom Brawl and Disco Dance, the Dynamite Stretch, and Intercontinental Playboy. Folks, he is more over than SummerSlam. I couldn't come up with anything better than that, so that's what I went with. GA Russell Nut, Glenn Abbott. Glenn, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad about that, because SummerSlam was a bit of an iffy show. It had its points and it had its bad points. And I think we've been spoiled for the last sort of 12 to 18 months of having all these premium live events where you think, oh, that's not going to be very good. And there it's had to quote Sheamus, it's been banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Now, this SummerSlam, they've created a lot of good stories. They hyped it up and it fell flat.
I'm saying parts of it fell flat.
Yeah, so it did. It was booked wrong. Why they put Ricochet and Logan Paul on first, I don't know.
Let me ask. I think you and me are probably going to say the same match, but which match do you think they should have put in first?
I think they should have gone with the Rumble first.
There was one of that's a good one. I was thinking they could have went with Drew Gunther first.
Yeah, that's another good one.
But the battle royal would have been great because that would have got the crowd really hyped right away.
You're getting LA Knight in there, and that's going to hype the crowd.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say is I thought the battle royal was one of the more entertaining battle royals I've seen in a long, long time. I had fun watching it. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't with the wrestling with the average wrestling crowd, Logan Paul isn't as over as much as the WWE would like him to be. Yes, he's a decent wrestler, and it showed. There was a lot of meh about that reaction from the crowds between him and Ricochet.
Yeah, there were spots that were like a little bit off, I guess you could say. I mean, I didn't think it was a bad match, but it was the imagination. It just they tried to do a little too much, maybe.
Yeah. Especially with Logan Paul. As I said on Saturday night, Logan Paul isn't Will Ospreay. All the will in the world, he's not. He's a decent wrestler, but he's not Will Ospreay. You can't put on a recreation of that Japan match between Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
Well, not when you've only had like 5-6 matches. Probably no. Probably not. No. And I like the ending. I know I messaged you guys, this is baby back bullshit. That was only because I picked Ricochet and that was going to ruin my chances of winning my belt back, which I did not. I did like the finish with the brash nuts and things. I thought that was a good way to go. I thought it was a nice finish.
It was.
Rollback finish.
But, and then, of course, straight after that, we have the vacuum of charisma herself.
Well, no, I had Cody and Brock next, didn't they?
Cody and Brock was next, yeah. Which was all right, but people have seen it 100,000 times.
Yeah, I don't like to be negative, but I felt that match was boring. I thought it was rather boring.
It was. And then of course, talking about boring, the wild boar herself. And again, that match on TV looks fine with what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But in that arena, it'd be interesting to get the mayor's view on it on Friday. Is you can't have that MMA style match in the middle of a wrestling ring with that many people that far away from you. MMA fights, the crowds are all sort of on top of the cage.
Yeah, there's reasons why they don't have those in football stadiums. Yeah,
exactly. So if you're rolling around on the floor a lot and trying to get on bars, submission holds, people up in the bleachers, they're going to lose all interest.
right.
And that's what happened because they weren't that interested in the first place.
Right. And I'm going to be honest with you, Glenn. I did not even see one single second of that match. I was watching the first two matches inside the house, and then we moved the TV and stuff outside. And then we moved TV and stuff outside. So while that match was going on, I was moving all the stuff outside. So I didn't see one lick or a second of that match. And from what I've heard, I'm probably not going to go back and look at it either.
You didn't miss anything, no.
I didn't think so. And then we got the cash in, which I thought the three-way was a really good match. I thought that was probably my favorite match on the show was the three-way.
It was a good match, and of course, as I called it on Friday night, Leo Cushing.
You did. Well, you called two things. You called the end too, when Jimmy was going to cost Jay. You called that one too, which I thought you were crazy when you said that one. You were right. But yeah, but when Charlotte had the figure eight on Asuka, and then Bianca came off the top rope with that 450 splash, while she had the figure eight on, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah, holy cow. Yeah, that match was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that.
Because it meant, it incapacitated all of them, which made it perfect for cash-in.
Yeah, and Bianca had already been taken out. Like it looked like Bianca wasn't going to be able to go anymore. It was funny because, like I said, we were outside and I came inside to get another drink or something. And my TV inside was faster than the TV outside. Yeah. And so as I come inside the kitchen, I hear, and new WWE Women's Champion. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I ran back outside and Io Sky has cashed in. So that was cool. I thought it was all fine. Sometimes I wish like they would let the Money in the Bank person keep it a little longer, especially with the women, because I feel like it's always like so soon. But I don't have a major problem with it. I thought it was fine.
No, it's building to there's going to be some jealousy from Bailey in there at some point.
I'm sure.
Especially
with two people in wrestling you should never trust. One is Bailey and the other is Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
If you've got a back, they'll stab it.
Especially when you've got a title on you.
Yeah. I guess we talked about it, but like, what did you think about the main event? Did you think it was a little too long?
It went on too long. It was too drawn out and too convoluted. Great ending, but it could have been 5 minutes earlier. Unfortunately, Roman is looking really slow at the moment. I have all the sympathy in the world for him.
Yeah.
Because I certainly couldn't do what. Yeah, I know there's like 30 years difference in us, but
yeah.
There's days where I don't want to get out of bed, let alone wrestle.
Oh, yeah. Or like walk, yeah.
Yeah. So he's looking weak, and they're doing everything they can to protect him. Because even the Superman punches don't look as impactful, and that those wrist braces are getting bigger and heavier and more supportive all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I won't lie to you. I had a few drinks and a few, other things were happening, and so I remember the main event, but it's foggy. So I have to go. I think I have to go back and watch it again. And there's a couple of matches on this show that I might go watch again. Not the Rousey match. I'm not gonna watch that ever. But the Gunther match I might watch again too.
Yeah, that's.
I wish that one would have got a little bit longer. I think that was one of the shorter matches on the show, and I would like to see that get like 20 minutes, I guess. But I guess the main event had to go 40.
Yeah,
but I like where it's going now, because now you see what's going to happen between the two twins now. So we've added another layer to the story.
That's right. And why they called it a tribal whatever it was, because it had nothing to do with islands or tribes or anything.
It really should have been over an active volcano. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing?
or at least in a cage made. I'm not expecting the Punjabi jail match.
They should bring back the Thunderdome. You remember the Thunderdome from WCW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a cage that at least looked a bit tropical. Indeed.
You don't want WWE to do a tropical cage. It'll be sponsored by Hawaiian Punch. That's another thing I saw people complaining online about. Why did that have a Slim Jim Battle Royal? Because they give them money, you stupid motherfucker. That's why. I don't know if you know this, but that's why they're in this thing, to make money.
Yes. That's why we had zombies
Exactly.
at that time, because bloody film sponsored it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand people. Like, what you? That's why you make $6 an hour. Shut up.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah. Anyway, it'd be interesting to hear what the mayor has to say when we talk to him, because he was there, and so he heard some crowd reactions, and I'm interested to hear about what happened when the LA Knight won that battle royal, because I'm sure that was something.
Yeah. You bet he was louder than anybody.
Oh, and another match that was really good was the Finn and Rollins match was really good too.
Excellent. That was excellent. Yeah.
Really good storytelling too to it. Nice finish. Yeah, I really like that match too. All right, Glenn, let's do it. You ready to talk about some 1997 wrestling?
Yes, why not? Let's get back in the time machine.
Let's do it. Let's fire it up. Let's head back to April 1st, 1997. We are at the Broome County Arena in Binghamton, New York. It's now known as the Floyd L. Marins Veterans Memorial Arena, because that's a much better name than the Broome County Arena. Broome County sounds like that would be the place you get arrested at. I thought we were going to say the Broome County, detention center, but no, it's the arena anyway. So they held many wrestling events here, like in WWF, WCW, and even like an ECW on TNT taping in November of 2000, when ECW was shortly on the TNT network in the year 2000. You remember that, Glenn?
No.
Do you know what I'm sorry, it wasn't TNT, it was TNN. It was called the Nashville Network at first, and then I think it became the National Network. Then it became Spike TV, which I think Raw was on TNN for a little while.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, because we used to get replays of it on Spike.
Yeah, that's what. And then it turned into Spike, and I think then and then TNA ended up being on that channel too, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, but it hasn't had a major wrestling show at this arena since February of 2000, and that was an episode of WCW Thunder, Glenn. And I hope to one day cover that show with you, because the main event of that show was our old pal Sid, and he defeated the Harris brothers in a 2-on-1 caged heat match. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a caged heat match is, but I look forward to talking about it.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that at some point then.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what caged heat is, but I can't wait to find out. I'll tell you later. All right, so we get into this.
It's no wonder why WCW at this time were giving away tickets to try and fill, and WWF was selling out, because it looked small and it took 3,800 people. So it's not quite a bijou little arena there, packed to the rafters.
Yeah, that's like the sort of arena we would have had in Lincoln, Nebraska when I was a child, and there's like double or triple the amount of people who lived here now than used to when I was a kid. And I think the arena that we had here probably held like 4,000 people, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it also adds to the ambience of the whole thing when it's packed out like that.
Especially when everybody's got a sign. It reminds you of when I was a kid anyway, watching wrestling, when I see all those signs in the crowd like that.
Yeah, I remember people going, we'll go to the wrestling. I made a nice sign.
Yeah, I mean, I went to wrestling one time with the I'm a Sasha Banks guy sign. That was
all right,
2015 or something like that, I think. But yeah. So they opened the show with showing us some footage of The Undertaker setting Paul Bearer's face on fire at the pay-per-view the night before.
It didn't look any better this time around. First, get a up of it as well.
Yeah, I think he legit did burn that motherfucker good. Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin makes his way out to the ring to start the show. Is this the first time we saw him with the Austin 316 with the skull on the back of it, like the iconic Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt? Because I don't think we've seen him with it on yet.
Yeah, this is the first of several iconic moments from this show. I think we can safely say that this is the show that kicks off the Attitude Era.
I mean, there was a lot of really good stuff here. There was a good story told throughout the entire episode around one main angle, which is really, really good.
Yeah, crap wrestling, but a good show because of the stories being told.
Yeah. And I think as we go through this, we're going to find out that that's a lot of what it was.
Which actually sums up the Attitude Era. I was going to say.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so they let us know that Austin is going to have a street fight with Bret Hart, but I guess nobody told Bret Hart because Bret Hart had yet to accept this challenge, even though they said it. So I thought that was just funny. They're like, "Oh, they're going to have a street fight tonight," and Bret Hart's like, "I haven't accepted any challenge for any street fight."
Yeah, regardless whether Bret is dressed or not, you don't have to put on those pink tights. I don't even like them.
Yeah. I also like that he told Vince to shut his hole. Like the first thing he did was like, "You shut your hole."
Yeah. So that's the feuding with Vince as well.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, it was like Vince McMahon was being nice to him. He was like, "Oh, Stone Cold, the good news that in your house you're going to face the Undertaker for the WWF Championship." And Stone Cold's like, "Why don't you shut your hole?"
Yeah, not interested in that yet. I have a business to sort out first.
Yeah, he says we're worried about Bret Hart, right? He talked about how the Bret Hart had to get saved by Bulldog and Owen at the pay-per-view, and he would have broke Bret's leg if he hadn't. He calls Bret out. That's when he says, "You don't have to put that pink and black crap on." They put a minute countdown clock on, but it just ticks away.
Which gives him a bit of excuse to stomp out the back rather than just walk out.
Yeah, and then Bret Hart does show up on the video board, and he's kind of going back and forth, and he tells Austin he'll have a street fight with him, but and then he runs down the United States, it's all the stuff he's been saying for weeks.
Yeah, calls everybody a pack of wild hyenas.
Yeah, a pack of wild hyenas is his favorite thing to go to. He also said during this that he almost ripped Austin's leg off of its hinges.
Yeah. Which is true, actually.
When you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, yes, but technically knees don't have hinges.
No, but he's did. In that match, he's definitely had, and for the rest of his career, had hinges.
I guess that's fair. But I just thought it was so funny. I pulled your head off of its hinges. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not a door, sir. What are we talking about here? Bret said he's going to send Austin straight to hell, and then Austin says, "Well, if I'm going to hell, you're coming with me." And I thought it was this is the first instance of them opening with the promo segment, and I thought it was really cool. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, America's going down the toilet because of people like Austin and Michaels, which is a foreshadowing of what's to come later. And then it says, "I'll accept your challenge." And Austin then decides he's going to go out and try and find Bret. You think the first place you would have thought after what happened last week, the first place he would have looked is the bathroom.
Fuck yeah, he would have, because they're clearly just hanging out in there.
The bathroom with the referees.
If that had been Davey in there with anybody else but Owen, I would have thought something nefarious was going on in there. But since Owen will work, then probably not. They tell us that Ken Shamrock is here and he's going to challenge Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously something that was going on in the press.
Yeah, I just thought that was really weird. I was like, is that really going to happen?
Never came to anything.
Yeah, and then we're going to hear about how Vader has been held hostage. Glenn, do you remember this about Vader?
Yes, I know. It's Saudi Arabia.
It was in Kuwait, I think.
Kuwait, yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah, some poor interviewee over there asked the question.
He's not being held hostage. He's been arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been charged with assault. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor journalist over there asked him and the Undertaker during the interview a question, and I've heard a story that Bruce Pritchard told that the Undertaker told Vader, look, he's like, look, they're gonna ask us the question, don't say anything, I'll take care of it. I don't do anything, okay, Leon, I'll take care of it. But and the Undertaker gave like a diplomatic answer, like it's not fake. People say it's fake, but it's not fake. It's whatever. But Vader grabs this guy by his jacket. Is that fake? Does this feel fake?
He's going by the side, hanging him up, saying this is fake.
He then tells him, if you want to come down to the wrestling ring, I'll whip his ass, and then I'll whip your ass. And then he got arrested.
Yeah.
Because you don't fuck around in foreign countries. I mean, come on, man.
Those Arabs at that time were very touchy.
Yeah, they're very touchy about being touched, I guess. Goddamn.
Talking about touchy Arabs, neatly into this match.
That's a hell of a segue, Glenn. I didn't see that coming, but it happened.
Ahmed Johnson against the Sultan.
Yeah.
Second, I've got the notes here somewhere. No, don't put that one. Oh dear. Right. Sorry for laughing so much.
It's fine.
It's right. He was born in San Francisco, California, of Samoan heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide that he's from the Middle East. Not even a country, just the Middle East.
All of them.
Is this the Middle East of San Francisco or the Middle East of Samoa?
Glenn, they didn't say, so we just assumed he was Arab. That's our bad. We fucked up on that one, I think.
I suppose so. It's like Yokozuna being Japanese, I suppose.
Yeah, see, they told us straight out he was from Japan, so we had to believe that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ahmed Johnson gets really good pops from the crowd when he comes out.
Yeah.
And this match wasn't bad. It was probably one of the better Ahmed Johnson matches we've seen because let's take the mask off. The Sultan's fucking Rikishi. Rikishi can go. I mean, so I didn't think it was all that bad, but I didn't think it was all that good either. You know what I mean?
No, that's it. It's as you say, it's one of Ahmed Johnson's better matches, but not Rikishi's.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Ahmed wins. Or he doesn't even get the win. He hits a spine buster. He looks like he's going to hit his Pearl River plunge, but the Nation of Domination hits the ring. Luckily for Ahmed Johnson, one of Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4s underneath the ring, so he grabbed it and chased the LOD off.
I don't know why he keeps throwing it away, though. Every time he picked it up, they backed off a bit, and then he'd throw it down. Just stand there looking at them. Don't know why they didn't rush him then.
And he started beating the Sultan with it.
Weak.
Yeah, that's true. He does hit him. Maybe he just really wanted to beat the Sultan. He's like, I hate this guy's mask. This guy's mask is stupid. And he wanted to beat him. So I guess Ahmed Johnson won. I'm not sure who won this match. One of them won by DQ. I don't know. Let me see.
The Sultan won by DQ because Ahmed Johnson took the 2x4 to him. Well, actually, he took the 2x4 to the mat around him.
Yeah, well.
But apparently the idea of this was to get the Sultan off of TV. So they said this assault by Ahmed Johnson, the Sultan suffered broken ribs and a swollen eye.
Oh, does that mean he's never coming back?
I don't know whether he's never coming back, but that definitely gets him off of TV for a while. I think he might not be coming back as the Sultan.
But I don't like, when does Rikishi come around though? I feel like Rikishi doesn't come around until like 2000.
Let me have a look. I've got Rikishi here somewhere.
Well, let's see. I have it open too. We're both scrolling. Rikishi, so 1999 it says.
Oh,
Rikishi
right.
left the spotlight when the Sultan gimmick was canned and worked on the independent scene, and then he returned in November of 1999 as Rikishi Fought 2. So, yeah, this is This is his last in January '98. So he comes back for a little while, but the gimmick is dropped in January of '98. So he's almost to the end of his run here. Yeah.
Thank God.
And nothing against him. It's just a stupid fucking gimmick. The gimmick's just.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't do anything against Rikishi. He's one of those guys that been given some really dodgy gimmicks and ran with every one.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was one of those you could plug that guy into anything and he would be fun. So yeah, nothing against him at all. Just a shit gimmick. And then they show us Austin has found Bret Hart's dressing room in the back. He's trying to kick the door in, and for some, they've also got a camera in there with a bunch of WWF officials. Apparently, Bret Hart's planning something. I don't know what, because he's all these WWF officials in his dressing room.
They were there to protect him, I think. That's how I read it. Anyway. And why is Steve Austin trying to open that door with a chair?
Wait a minute, Glenn.
Not the best battering ram in the world, is it?
I don't know if you knew this, but the key to all wrestling arenas is a steel chair. That's the key to the door.
All right, okay.
Yep. I'm surprised you didn't know that, Glenn.
Oh.
So if you find yourself backstage at the wrestling show, doors locked, hit it with a chair.
Yeah.
Just saying. So then Ken Shamrock is here, and they tell us that at the pay-per-view, Ken Shamrock is going to be taking on Vader in a no-holds-barred type contest. And from everything I've heard about this match, I don't remember the match, but everything I heard about it is we're going to watch two guys really beat the shit out of each other when we watch that match.
Yeah.
Then they tell us the stuff about, Vader freaking out and getting arrested. And Shamrock says that Vader's a bully and he doesn't like bullies and he's going to take care of bullies at SummerSlam, Glenn. And then there's another bully that he wants to fight. And that bully is Mike Tyson. Then he said some, not saying they're not true things about Mike Tyson, but he said some disparaging things about Mike Tyson, which made me think if Mike Tyson thought, why the fuck did they say that shit about me in 1997 when they tried to bring him in 1998? Because if I was Mike, I would have wanted some answers.
That's right. Why this is all going on, apparently, the reason Vader and The Undertaker were in Kuwait anyway was for the Kuwaiti Cup.
Yep. And
that was won by the well-known WWF superstar, Tiger Ali Singh.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that guy. Story career.
I do remember it actually coming over, but that's the first I'd heard of him.
So he's spoiler alert. He has a match later in the show, and I went, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yeah.
And you know me, when my brain is like a steel trap of wrestling knowledge, and I have no fucking idea who this guy is. So that says something.
Yeah.
Made no impression. But yeah, so Ken Shamrock wants to fight Mike Tyson, but I don't think that ever happened.
Probably money.
It would have been a lot of money. You're not lying. That would if Vince could have got that on pay-per-view in '97, yeah, it would have been millions.
He would never have been able to pay Tyson enough.
And also, I know Ken Shamrock, whatever, but if you get close enough for Mike Tyson to punch you in the face,
yeah,
that's like a different level of punch. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that, '97.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Explode your fucking head. Anyway, so the next part of the show is the best part of the show. It's the street fight between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're both dressed for a fight here. Well, Stone Cold is dressed for a fight. And I like that they went to a commercial break and they come back and Stone Cold Steve Austin is screaming at Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Just screaming at him. I don't know. He's standing on. I don't know if he was standing on it or leaning on it. But he's standing on the table. I think screaming at Vince McMahon.
Because I don't think he thought that Bret Hart was actually going to come out.
Well, I feel like they've been doing this thing lately where it takes Bret Hart forever to come out once his music hits. His music hits and then it takes a minute for him to come out.
Yeah, and of course before he does, Davey and hit an attack Austin from behind.
Yeah, Bret gets in there, joins in on beating Austin, and then from out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels comes out of the crowd with a steel chair. I think he stole a chair from a fan. Maybe he was sitting in the crowd with some other wrestlers that we're going to see later. And he takes Bulldog and Davey out. Those are some stiff chair shots, too.
Yeah. Well, he probably wasn't a gimmick chair, it's just what he picks up. Because why wouldn't he just be sitting in the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, usually Shawn Michaels goes to every show and sits in the third row. I don't know if you knew that, but he does. And then finally, he runs off Davey and Bulldog, which leave Davey and Bulldog are the same person. He runs off Davey and Owen, which leaves Bret Hart and Austin to go one-on-one here, and a really entertaining street fight at a time where you didn't see a lot of street fights, especially not on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, with Vince going on about how he didn't think that Bret would ever submit to the sharpshooter several times.
Yeah, he kind of gets on like a thing and he kind of harps on it the whole match. I think that's all it's got. Bret does the whole thing where he puts Austin's ankle in the chair and then he jumps off the top rope, but Austin moves when Bret jumps off. Austin then like whacks him right in the knee with the chair. He then starts just beating the shit out of Bret's leg with the chair, hitting him in the knee with the chair, like hitting the top of the chair into his knee, slamming the chair into his knee, just tearing Bret's knee apart here.
Yeah, this baffled me this bit because Austin has got Bret in the sharpshooter, all legitimate. Although in a street fight, I've never found it to recommend anybody to actually be on the floor.
Probably not.
It's not a good place to be in a street fight.
Yeah, you shouldn't try to do like a figure four or a sharpshooter in a street fight. I wouldn't think so.
Somebody's going to come along and kick you in the head.
Yeah.
But that aside, then all of a sudden, there's all these referees come out of nowhere and try and break it up. Now this is a no DQ street fight. What are they doing?
That was my only gripe too, Glenn. I literally have it right here. Why did the ref come out and stop him? I thought this was a fucking street fight. Yeah, I said the exact same thing. I said, hold on now. This motherfucker's got to quit or tap or something. This ain't right. You can't just stop him.
No, because the referees don't work. So then they go to the other thing that always works when there's a fight or something going on. The timekeeper starts hitting the life out of the bell.
They don't do that anymore, but yeah, I remember. Like it's just that matters. Not
once in my memory as a brawl suddenly stopped. They've got, we've rung the bell. We better stop now.
Yeah. You only ever see like a brawl stop in a movie where like a pretty girl starts singing a song or something and then everybody stops. Yeah, but yeah. As soon as somebody rings a bell.
That's more Mel Brooks than.
Somebody should have warned all the barkeeps in town when wrestlers were in town that all you have to do is ring a bell and they'll stop, but nobody told them.
Where you go in a bar, you're more likely to have a fight because it means that everybody's being thrown out.
That's a good point. Yeah, so Austin does have Bret in the sharpshooter for like ever here, and then finally like Davey and Owen come out and they're like very upset, and like some of the stuff that Davey and Owen are like they're yelling is pretty laughable. It's cracking me up. They're like screaming just really funny shit. Watch the cords, watch his knee, you idiot! And they're just saying whatever.
This is a little note I made. I thought it was quite funny. It was a combination of multiple referees, 2 Hebners, and a Pat Patterson were just about enough to pull Austin off of Bret Hart.
That's all it takes. Yeah. They finally get the EMTs. I heard look at Bret Hart, he's very hurt, and then they show Gorilla Monsoon's in the back arguing with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You broke all these rules and regulations, and Stone Cold Steve Austin says, good, because I don't care about them. And then Gorilla Monsoon kicks him out of the building. So we'll never see Steve Austin again tonight, will we, Glenn?
Of course not.
No, he's never lived. He's like Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. We'll never see him again.
So, once he's done, he's done. That's it, he goes.
Yep. And then we get to the aforementioned Tiger Ali Singh, who is a forgettable superstar. I do remember a little bit of this superstar. Do you remember Salvatore Sincere?
Yes, I do remember him.
My favorite thing about him is when he would get mad at the referee, he would go, hey! Or he would go, hey, what do you mean? I thought that was great. Tiger Ali Singh, as you mentioned, the Kuwaiti Cup champion. The only other Kuwaiti Cup champion, I think, was Ahmed Johnson. So he's in he's amongst good company, I guess. I don't know.
The thing is that what is this fixation with bringing in Indian guys that nobody knows and making them champions?
Well, at least they didn't actually give him a belt or anything, so that was good.
No,
but during the match, they're showing
in India at the time.
Yeah, they must have been trying. Maybe they were trying to get on cable in India or something.
Yeah.
They show us Bret Hart being taken to the ambulance during this because nobody cares about the match anyway. It's funny that instead of just taking him straight to the ambulance, we're going to stop and put ice on his knee. First, we got to stop and put ice on his knee, and then we'll get him in the ambulance.
This is the one time that the commentary team apologized for a picture-in-picture. The one time it didn't give a shit about the match. We were more interested in what was going on outside. They should have apologized about going back to the ring.
They should have. They should have said, we apologize for showing you this match at all because nobody cares. Although I would have missed Salvador Sincere, yelling, "Hey, what do you mean?" So I would have been sad about that. Tiger Ali Singh wins with a spinning heel kick. I don't know even how long he's going to be around for or what's going to happen with him. Maybe now the Sultan's gone, maybe Bob Backlund can be his manager.
He pops up occasionally, I think, for the next year or so.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure he's around for a bit. We'll see.
I guess. And so we see more of them taking Bret into the ambulance. They load him in, they shut the doors, but then we see that Stone Cold Steve Austin has commandeered this ambulance. He starts whooping Bret's ass inside the ambulance. They see this, they open the doors, he pulls the whole gurney out, starts beating Bret while Bret's setting upright. It was pretty awesome.
Yes, a thing that they've done several times since, not to the same standard, actually.
Yeah, this is probably one of the better Austin commandeers of all time.
Yeah. Well, not just Austin, but there's been a few times that ambulances have been commandeered by one of the participants while the other one's been in the back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, but as far as if you think about beer bath and all that stuff, I don't know. I think this one's cooler than that.
Oh yeah, because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it literally popped up.
Yeah, that's like you said, that's an iconic moment of Raw. In the video that starts this show, that moment of Austin pulling him out and whooping on Bret Hart is in the opening of the show because it's an iconic moment. So pretty freaking cool. Finally, Bulldog and Owen are pulling him off, and Bulldog is like, "We're gonna kill him." They were literally like, "We're gonna kill him."
Yeah.
There was no, "We're gonna beat him up, we're gonna hurt him." They were going to kill Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I also thought when they were wheeling Bret, Davies telling him, "It's okay, Bret. Austin's gonna get his. Austin's gonna get his, but we got to take care of you first. First, we got to take care of you, Bret. Then Austin's gonna get it." I don't know why, but their running commentary was cracking me up.
It was, especially in that Northwest accent, Davey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean, but yeah.
But that's the Northern English accent that he's got.
Yeah.
He'll take the piss out.
And then Glenn, we get
the match of the night. Woo! The match of the year. No, it's Rockabilly again.
Rockabilly all night long. Rockabilly, sing my song tonight.
But if you don't think you're going to hear that song every time we see Rockabilly, you got to think of it. Because I'm playing it every time.
Just wait till Jeff Jarrett gets back.
Oh God! Oh no! R.I.P. to anybody who doesn't like me hear me sing that song because it's going to happen a lot. So yeah, we get the fucking rematch. Jesse James again is gonna face fucking Rockabilly.
Yeah.
Why?
Of course, Double J, Jesse James, shows his wrestling prowess by arm dragging Billy Gunn all over the place.
That's how you do it, Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cared about this match. I didn't care. Glenn didn't care. The fans didn't care. JR didn't care. Vince didn't care. The King didn't care. Nobody cared. Not a soul. This felt like an Iron Man match because it was so fucking boring.
No, this is how interested in the match I was. I was paying more attention to JR plug in the WWF hotline.
Yeah, I must have fell asleep during that. I'm not sure. I must have missed it.
Yeah. Of course, they blur out the numbers. He tells you what the numbers are.
Well, if you're stupid,
800, whatever it is, yeah. It's.
I guess if you're dumb enough to call it now, you're dumb enough to write it down and call it. So
yeah.
But the one thing exciting that happened during this match, Glenn, is they let us know that next week's Monday Night Raw will emanate from Omaha, Nebraska. So that got me excited because next week they're going to be in Nebraska, which is about 55 miles from where I live. So that was the most exciting part of this match. Eventually, Rockabilly wins.
This is the match where the commentary talks about anything else, mainly about the Undertaker and Steve Austin and how he lit up Paul Bearer, which was just as well because in the ring there was the usual Billy Gunn or Rockabilly chinlock going on at that time.
Oh, and then when he tries to dance, I want to throw up. It's probably some of the worst dancing I've ever seen, and I've been to many weddings with intoxicated white people, Glenn, and it's still some of the worst dancing I've ever seen, and he should never dance ever. Because it's not good. And I hope I never have to see these guys wrestle again. Rockabilly wins, though, unfortunately, which means they're tied 1-1, Glenn. So you know what that means.
8 minutes 44 this went on for. That's 8 minutes 43 seconds too long.
Yeah, I'll never get that back. Yeah, it was bad. And then Honky Tonk Man cracks Jesse James over the head with the guitar afterward.
This is a little quote that I nicked from Scott's blog of doom on this. He said, to this day, I'm amazed either of these goofs survived with a career, let alone ended up tag team champs together by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Is by the end of the year, the guys are going to be like totally different people.
Yeah.
And that's insane. It's like when you watch WCW 1996 and you see the Dungeon of Doom and you're like, in 2 months, he's going to be Hollywood fucking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy that we went from this silly shit to that. That's crazy. They show Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels like arguing backstage. I feel bad for poor Gorilla Monsoon. He's like Jerry Springer now. All of a sudden, he's like the host of the Jerry Springer show. He might as well have a show, the Gorilla Monsoon show. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would have been.
It really would have. Yeah, so they're just kind of arguing back and forth. Austin's like, I don't want your help. Austin's like, I ain't trying to help you. I'm trying to hurt them. And blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And then we hear from Mankind, and Mankind's always fun to listen to, so let's hear him.
Hey, Mankind! His flesh was hanging from his handsome face, held there by his very own hands. As we made our way to the sanctuary, I could smell the stench of burning skin, and when he pulled his hands away, his face, not dead, but not one whimper was heard from Uncle Paul. Not then, or later on at the burn unit. When the scraping procedure began, never cried. But now,
sure we heard the screams.
The Undertaker,
yeah,
he's disfigured like me. Get well soon, Uncle Paul.
Yeah. So, first things first. The funny thing about that is he first said that Paul Bearer had a handsome face, and come on, no disrespect, but no, he didn't.
Not only deaf, but blind as well.
Sad. It's a sad song, that Mankind. Yeah, as you heard, the Undertaker then makes his way out to the ring. He is going to take on Hunter Hearst Helmsley. They give us another replay of Paul Bearer getting his face absolutely lit on fire by the Undertaker.
I am sure there was a backstage segment last at the pay-per-view that we could hear him screaming. He didn't go into that good night quietly.
He certainly didn't. Yeah, that's what I when he said that. Oh no, that motherfucker was screaming. I heard him. He was bellowing screams. Like, he screams when he's not hurt. Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Screams every time he talks. So yeah, Triple H versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus the Undertaker. Undertaker takes no time. Apparently, he hates Hunter a lot because he got out of the ring and started beating him up as he made his way down to the ring.
What's Hunter
done? It's a pretty good match.
Hunter's been so busy with Mankind, he's not even been anywhere near the Undertaker. So God knows what he's done to him to make him that angry.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Undertaker's really good friends with Marlena. I doubt it, but maybe.
Well, they were there at ringside, so you never know.
They were, and at first they tried to play it off like it wasn't them. And first of all, Marlene is giving herself away because she's the only fucking person in there smoking a giant cigar. So if you're trying to be incognito, that's probably the way to go.
JR, good old JR, cocks it up and said, "Oh, there's Dustin and Terry." Oh,
yeah.
Marlena.
Well, I guess if they're in the crowd as civilians, they are Dustin and Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good. It was the best match on this show. I know that's not saying anything, but I mean, it was the best actual match because I don't consider that Austin and Bret Hart thing even a match because the referees broke them up as if it was just a backstage segment. So
yeah,
I thought that was a match.
I actually like the work the Undertaker's doing at this time, and it's probably me looking back with it on rose-colored glasses as well. But because I see some of the dodgier stuff he's done.
Yeah, definitely. Well, at this time, he had gotten away from the slow and prodding shit, and now he's faster pace and doing the striking. So it's like a different style of Undertaker than we've been watching against Giant Gonzalez in 1993.
That's right.
And then eventually, Mankind shows up with a fucking a flamethrower or something.
Yeah, a little blowtorch.
Yeah. And I'm not making this up. He literally had a fucking blowtorch. He was carrying it to the ring. I was like, is that a fucking blowtorch?
Obviously, Mick Foley doesn't smoke. And probably never has. Because the trouble he has with lighters.
Oh, yeah. Who was Mick Foley's biggest rival? Lighters. Every time they got it.
It's lucky that they didn't try to do that. It was Mankind that was Taker's brother, and it was all done with fire, because it would have been obvious it wasn't him because he could never light anything.
Right? He didn't do it. They couldn't have been. That wouldn't have worked. Yeah. So Undertaker hits a choke slam on Triple H. Mankind starts coming. He's advancing toward the ring with this fucking flamethrower. But don't worry, he can't light it anyway. He gets in the ring. He starts beating the Undertaker, not with the flamethrower, but the thing that shoots the flame out. What you really want to do is try to rupture that. That's what you want to do. That's what I thought when he was swinging that thing. I was like, I don't know if you want to be swinging that like that. I wouldn't.
No, it'll blow up.
Exactly. You think having a Paul Bearer's face was something?
Finally, a DQ called.
Yep. And then they start like brawling through the crowd, and then as they start fighting through the crowd, Marlena like throws her purse strap around Chyna's neck and starts like choking her with it. Triple H, Goldust jumps the barricade. He starts beating up Triple H. They kind of get into a brawl here. And I thought it was so funny that Chyna's wrestling with the purse with Marlena instead of just picking her up and chucking her into the like she could have. I would have just thrown her if I was Chyna at that point. Wouldn't have bothered with the purse. Yeah, and then they go to a commercial as that chaos is ensuing. So apparently the Triple H and Goldust thing isn't done, and I hoped it was.
Definitely not.
And then we're gonna get a promo segment to end the show, which I think this is one of the first times. Well, I guess Bret Hart kind of cussed out Vince McMahon to end the show, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Austin comes out of the ring. He's going to talk to Vince again about what he did to Bret and getting the title shot. He asked Austin if he's proud of himself, and let's hear how proud of himself he was.
World that I would send Bret Hart straight back to Canada, and that's exactly what I did. The thing that gets me is I don't see why everybody's so happy, because none of you helped me do a damn thing. I did it by myself. You wave all your little signs. Austin 316, Stone Cold said so, whatever. And you with your little dimpled chin gets on national television and starts running compliments up the yin-yang because all of a sudden you want to jump on the Stone Cold bandwagon more than anybody in the world. Tell me I'm wrong. Bulldog and Owen Hart have hell to pay.
It just seems to me that you're going to have hell to pay when you face The Undertaker.
The Undertaker's going to have the coldest day in hell he could ever imagine in Virginia or wherever the hell it is.
I don't even care where it is.
Yeah, and my favorite part about that is I didn't get it in there, but JR quickly plugged it. It's in Richmond, Virginia, April the 11th. Good job, JR. That's why you got a job, buddy. Nice work. Yeah, and then they're planting the seeds of the whole Austin McMahon thing here. And I didn't realize it, obviously, at that time being a child, but you can really see it that it's building towards something.
It's building. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
we can thank Steve Austin for tipping Vince over the edge and him becoming Mr. McMahon.
Well, and Bret Hart.
Yeah, and Bret Hart.
They were like a 75. They were like a 70-30 situation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bulldog Owen hit the ring. They start beating up Austin. Vince is trying to stop him from beating up Austin, and Davey, they're just shoving Vince over, which I thought was funny. Then Shawn Michaels hits the ring again with the chair. He chases them off, and Austin looks like he's going to be okay. But then a guy in some fucking tie-dye pants hits the ring, and it's Brian Pillman, and he starts beating the shit out of Austin, too.
Pillman, as he would. He's always been handy with a chair as Brian, since he stopped flying.
Charin, Brian.
Yeah, Charin, Brian.
But yeah, I think last time we saw him, didn't Stone Cold Steve Austin break his ankle, I think. So yeah, and then Shawn Michaels saves the day again as he chases off Brian Pillman with the chair. So I think Stone Cold Steve Austin owes Shawn Michaels something.
Austin is determined that it's all done by him. No help from anybody.
Yeah. Well, but as Stone Cold Steve Austin does, Glenn. And then that's kind of where the show goes off the air. But yeah, a pretty iconic Monday Night Raw, I would say.
Well, as I said, I could actually, but as I was watching it, I could remember it clearly from watching it the first time. So yes, a very iconic Raw.
Yeah, I definitely remember I remember the next Monday Night Raw a lot. I didn't go to it or anything, but it was in Omaha, and so I remember watching it. And I remember, yeah, I remember vividly a lot of the stuff that happened, so it's going to be fun to review that one next week. Glenn, who do we need to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, I'm never prepared for this.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? We going 2 thumbs up on this one?
Yeah, just 2 thumbs up. We're actually launched the Attitude Era tonight.
Yeah, except for a couple of shit matches, it was pretty good.
Yeah, but this is what we said. The Attitude Era was never about the matches, apart from on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Regular Raw matches were never that great. And I'm sure I'll be bored out with that as we go through. Everybody was more interested in what was going on with the stories and the vignettes. When Stone Cold attacks Vince with the bedpan, could you mention one other match that happened that night?
No.
Exactly. But everybody remembers that.
Absolutely not. I remember Mankind with the clown, right? They make him leave, and then yeah, I remember that. But I don't remember anything else that happened. I know.
No. Anyway, yeah. I'm booking the territory. Rob and Danny, they've now completed the gate of golf, and they're coming to the end of unbooking the Tankatory. But you can still get your tank facts on Twitter and on every available podcast supplier. Bang Bang with Andy, DDT with DC and Doc, and the Doctor Who podcast with Danny and Si.
That's right. Make sure you check out all those people, and make sure you check out Sports Wire Radio. Give our buddy Thomas Price a follow on Instagram, Twitter, the threads. Thomas Price 2020, Thomas Price 2017. I say it every week. You know what to do. If you haven't done it already, I know what you're doing with your life. You should. And of course, if you follow me and you follow Glenn, you should be following our third member of our podcast team, the Mayor of Canton. Give him a follow. He is at Mayor of Canton. I don't know if he's going to do a meal with the mayor anymore, or not. Maybe.
If you check out last week's Swear with the Mayor.
I don't think you can check it out anymore because I don't know what do you, if he's the mayor, what would his wife be? The mayor's wife? The mayor's wife said he had to take that video down.
Mayoress.
The mayoress told him he had to take that video down. So
all right.
That
anymore. He must have under orders.
Yes, under orders. Yes, he was told. You know what? We all have a boss. I have a boss, and he's got one too. So I get it, man. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it from us. I will check out a couple UK heritage. This is we do it one more show. We only got one more left, so there's.
We have sadly, but then again, happily, we then get a couple of weeks off, and then we'll be talking about Sid.
That's right. I've looked up lots of fun stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. we're gonna get away from this serious stuff we've been talking about and get back to some more comedy, and that's what I'm looking for, pal. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
But that's it. That's all. The only thing left to do is for Glenn to say goodbye.
Goodbye.